Qadry Ismail, former NFL wide receiver, won a Super Bowl as well. Syracuse legend. He works for the Ravens, pre- and post-game coverage, and Qadry joins us now. Qadry, good morning. How are you?
Dan, what's going on with you?
Now, true or false, did you help Todd Fritz's son get into Syracuse?
I pulled some strings for him.
Okay.
I kind of made a couple calls.
Yep, that's what we thought.
That's right.
Thanks for being honest.
Listen, we want him on. We're going to go ahead, bring him in. It's going to enhance the school's credibility. Boom. We had him in there.
All right. Yeah, I told Todd he can't just start booking Syracuse alum. You know, Rob Conrad he wanted to have on today, Dwight Freeney today, and Jerry McNamara. And I said, no, probably, just one Syracuse alum. Do your Ravens have any issues? Like, as you take this team goes into the postseason, what is the biggest concern you have for the Ravens?
So I think if you look at the last few weeks, kind of shockingly, I would say special teams. And here's why. With the playoffs, field position matters. Big plays matter. Momentum, capturing it, keeping it. It definitely is something that, you covet when you get into the postseason. For the Ravens, I think with Justin Tucker, for example, missing an extra point and, everyone in M&T Bank Stadium, we're holding our collective breath because that's just unheard of. You talk about the most accurate kicker in, league history. You look at, Sam Cook getting his punt blocked, and you just look at, just how incredible he's been and the way he's been able to just place the ball when he punts it to wherever, he's at on the field. And so, little mistakes like that, I think, can hurt a team. And so, I think that's first and foremost. But then also there have been little, kind of chinks in the armor defensively, whether it be the 49ers getting to the outside and really getting big chunk plays in the running game. We saw that back in week 4 with Nick Chubbs and the way he was able to, run it so effectively against the Ravens. Obviously, from a passing attack standpoint, that's something where I think at times there have been breakdowns in communication. And a more seasoned playoff quarterback can take advantage of some of the mistakes. So, there's some chinks there. There's nothing that's necessarily perfect.
Give me the team that you don't want to face in the postseason.
I think AFC, they match up pretty well against everyone. I know New England just because of their experience and, Bill Belichick, that little mastermind of his trying to figure out, the way in which Greg Roman and Lamar kind of operate. I think, they would be the one that would kind of be the thorn in the side. I would probably say them. Everybody else, I think they match up really well against, I think, NFC. So if it became a game where, what does the Super Bowl look like? I would not want to face a 49ers team. I think the 49ers, their speed on their defense, but at the same time, the way in which their offense operates, it's incredibly difficult to defend. And I think they would be the one that I wouldn't want to see the Ravens face.
If I would have told you in August, Lamar Jackson is going to be the MVP, what would you have said?
Yeah, let's put some money on it. And I probably would have not necessarily bet against him just for the sake of it. But from what I saw, as the season wound down in 2018, the off season, you just don't know. And I've said this before, rookies, when you get into the league, you have your strengths. And it takes a guy to figure out how to work on his weaknesses. And oftentimes it might be their second or third year, maybe even fourth year before they finally get it and make their weaknesses their strengths and be a complete player. For the position of quarterback, I mean, heck, we've seen that, throughout where guys, it takes them forever to kind of, become an upper tier quarterback. And so for Lamar, who was having difficulty, throwing the football to, the way he came into camp, tight spirals, the way he was having a command of the offense and the way he grew right from the jump going down to Miami and just carrying it through the season. It's remarkable. My hat's off to him for his hard work and his dedication to improving his craft.
Who knew that Mark Ingram was the stand-up comedian, the host of this team? It feels like he's been the biggest proponent, advocate, cheerleader for Lamar Jackson.
If you need a hype man, you go ahead and get him. Mark Ingram, I mean, last year, when, obviously the season is over and off season, everybody's like, oh my God, who's going to fill in the leadership void? And, guys, this team is going to look, different. And, because for years you've had those big name guys, you've had the Terrell Suggs and, clearly Ray and Ed, and, you had some big name players, Steve Smith Sr. on the opposite side, whatever. But I think for this team and the way they just, it's like Mark has been here his entire career. That's what we've seen with him and just how he's been in his leadership role and just his hype man role with Lamar. I think it's perfect.
Did you ever race your brother?
Dan, so let's just say it on your show for once and for all. If there was ever a question that has been asked by me from every freaking Notre Dame alumni to the history of man, oh my God, I've seen your brother play. Oh, he's so fast. Hey, who's faster? And you got to understand, 0 to 10 yards. I kid you not. Tim Brown was talking to me the one time. We were down in Dallas hanging out. It was him, my brother, James Jett, Alexander Wright, and Willie Gault.
Oh.
Arguably, they can all run 4.3 seconds at a 40-yard dash in their sleep. Tim was like, I don't think people understand just how fast your brother is. We would all be doing sprints, and literally the first 0 to 10, your brother is 3 yards ahead of us. My brother has that otherworldly first step speed that you just can't teach. The DNA was passed on to him, and when my father and my mom were like trying to put it together, they forgot to give it to me. Okay, all right. That's how we're going to leave it.
Okay. But Rocket Ismail, who was runner-up at Notre Dame for the Heisman and one of the fastest players who's ever played the sport, somebody said that he was clocked under 4.2. Is that right?
4.19 was his official.
And your best was
4.32. I was slow.
I mean, that's fast, but that's slow.
That's fast, but it's slow. It will get you by people, but it won't just put the fear of God in the defensive back. Defensive back will think he has a chance against me.
Like 4.3. 4.3 is one of the fastest times in the NFL when you were playing, but you're not even close to being the fastest guy in your own family at the time.
Correct. It was like he would run, and I've learned. See, people talk about being competitive. Oh, you gotta be competitive, man. I'm like, bruh, I've learned the art of being content. There's slow, and then there's, give them a burst of slow, and that's what I would do. I'll give them a burst of slow. I'm content with being just average fast.
4.3 is average fast in your household. What do you think?
Yes.
What do you think Rocket would run the 40 now?
So we actually were up in New York. He was inducted in the College Football Hall of Fame, and we were sitting there, and I'm watching his highlight tape. Him and I think Torrey Holt was up there. Torrey Holt was great as far as his highlight at North Carolina State, and then my brothers got up on there. I was like, whoa, unreal, just blazing. And I think I could take him now, though. I think I can. He had some ice cream up on the dais. The belly was looking a little bit different. I think I could take him.
It took a long time, but you finally got him where you want him, where you can finally beat your brother in a 40-yard dash.
49 years, Dan, and I think I can finally get him.
Qadry, great to hear from you, and have fun with the Ravens. Maybe we'll see you at the Super Bowl, and give our best to your brother as well.
Absolutely. Appreciate you having me on as always.
That's Qadry Ismail, the former NFL wide receiver.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.